Alright, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to get started using GameMaker. Okay, there's a couple steps that we need to do in order to get started with the actual game. First thing you need to do is go into Drive. Okay, inside, our projects is Project 6 GameMaker, and when you go inside of there, it takes you through the directions. You can actually play the game. Well, here we need to actually download everything that we're going to use to create the game. So what I want you to do is double click into there, right click, and then you're going to go down to download. So it's going to download, but we need to put this into our documents folder. So when it comes up, you're going to click right here on this arrow and go to show in folder. Now you can see right here that has a Z right here. Well, it shows that it's in a zip folder, and we need to take that out. It kind of compresses everything in it so it downloads faster. So we're going to open it up, which shows in another folder right here, and then I'm just going to single click and I'm going to drag into my documents. Okay. So when I do that, you can see that I already have a copy there. You shouldn't get that. I'm just going to say skip all that, and when I go into documents, you can see that if I go to GameMaker, and that's my other GameMaker file, excuse me, I'm going to go up to date modified, and you'll see that I have everything I need in order to create this game. Okay, so that's great. We've got that. Second thing you're going to need to do is you're going to go to your desktop and you're going to open up GameMaker. Now, mine gives this little security warning. Yours may not. Yours, I saw in a couple other students, they may bring open these little warnings. You just need to click OK, OK, or dismiss until you come to this screen. Maximize this screen, and it looks like I can't right now. But once you get here, we need to create a new game. Okay, so I'm going to go to New, and down at the very bottom it says Project 2. I'm going to save it as Evil Clutches. Okay, and then you're going to create it. I think on some it might say close, but when you do that, it takes a second, and then it brings back open everything that you're going to need. So this is GameMaker. It doesn't look like much, okay, but this is the program itself, how it's used. Now these over here are called resources. Okay, everything on the left hand side is called resources. So the things that we're going to use are called sprites, sounds, we're going to use backgrounds, we're going to use objects, and we're going to use rooms. Everything else we really won't use. Now, you're going to go pick up a tutorial up front. It's the red ones. It says Game Maker's Apprentice. You're going to open up. You're going to read the first page, which is page 9. You're going to read the second page, which is page 10. And then as you get in, it says the left side of the window shows the different types of resources that make up the game, sprites, background, sounds, and so forth. They are currently empty, but the names of the new resources will appear here as they are added to the game. So it says from the resources menu, and I'm looking at the bottom, towards the bottom of page 11. It says from the resources menu, choose create sprite. And I can either go resources and create sprite right here. I'm going to close that, or I can go to sprite and create sprite. Okay, either way. So when I do that, it actually creates the sprite. Okay, so I'm going to delete that one out. So you'll either go to resources and create sprite, or the sprite itself. Now you can see that there's one already here. I'm going to just double click on it, and it brings me open to the resource menu. So at the bottom, as I turn the page to page 12, it says click the name field. So I'm going to click where it says name. And it says where it currently says Sprite 0, this is the default name created by GameMaker for the new sprite, but you should rename it to Sprite_Dragon. So Sprite, I'm going to take off the 0. Now underscore is shift and then the dash and then Dragon. Okay, so I've got that. Step 3 says click the Load Sprite button. This opens the standard window file. So when I click Load Sprite, it brings me into this. Well, this isn't going to help me out. This brings me actually into the configuration settings. What we need is the folder that we just used, that we just downloaded from Google Drive. So I'm going to click on Libraries, I'm going to double click into Documents, and then you'll see Evil Clutches, right click and download this. This is what we need right here. So I'm going to double click into that. Now the good thing is after you create this first sprite, when you click on Load Sprite again, it'll go directly into this folder. So it wants me to click the dragon sprite. So if I go into, there it is, dragon, and you'll see that it creates this dragon. Now down towards the bottom, we're actually going to skip a step. This is kind of the step that has changed. The very last paragraph says the check mark next to the transparent property means that the background of the dragon sprite is see-through. Most sprites are set to transparent so that the surrounding rectangles won't be drawn when the sprite appears in the game. If we don't click remove background, it's the same thing as having the background be transparent. You can see that the background won't show up, only the dragon. If we don't, then you'll have this ugly blue box there. So we want to check that. And you can see it comes in with this checkerboard behind. Well, that lets you know that there's no background. Okay. Now, let's say that you forgot to do that. You just go back to Load Sprite, and you can get back in and remove the background. Okay. And I'm going to click on Open again. Okay. So I go there and you can see that I've got my dragon sprite with the little sprite right next to it. If it's blank, it means you didn't load a picture in. If you want to come back into this, you just double click on it, and guess what? You can come back in. So as I turn the page, I'm on page 13. It says create the remaining Evil Clutches sprites. So I need to create another one. Now I can either go here under Create Sprite, or I can just right click right here and do Create Sprite, and this one's going to be Dragon _ Boss. You can see when I load the sprite, it goes directly into the folder we were just in, and I'm going to check Boss, and you can also see that Remove Background has already been checked again. And I'm going to press OK. I'm going to go back up. And I'm going to create all my sprites now. So the next one says, let me see, sorry, Demon _ Demon. Make sure and put in the underscore, and I spelled it incorrectly. Make sure and spell it correctly too. Load sprite, Demon, OK, load sprite. We need baby. So get my baby. Load sprite again. We actually need a fireball. Fireball. Load sprite. Fireball. And we're going to need one more because we're going to need the evil baby too. And again, no spaces. So you have the underscore and then evil baby, no spaces. And again, I'll put in my evil baby. And you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sprites. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sprites right here. The background we'll put in later. Okay. So you're going to continue. And I'm going to be on 13. It says sprites don't do anything on their own. They just store pictures of the different elements in the game. Objects are the parts of the game that control how the elements move around and react to each other. We'll begin by creating our first object to tell GameMaker how we want the demon boss to behave. So it says the boss object. So the following steps: create a new object and assign it to a sprite so the GameMaker knows how it should look on the screen. So you're going to follow on the top of 14, and you're going to create, just like you did with sprites, you're going to create an object. And you're just going to follow the directions from here on out, and I'm just going to do this one for you. So we'll do object _ boss. Now we need to actually put in the sprite for the boss. So if you click right here, you can see that there is a sprite. Okay. So I just did that. And then it's going to go into events and actions. Okay, and events and actions, add event will be right here, and it shows what you need. And once you put in an event, these are going to be the actions that occur. Now on the tutorial, it shows little icons to the left of the numbers, and those will help you decipher which one of these, like the move fixed. Well, if I hover over that, it lets me know that that is the move fixed. But on the bottom of page 15, at step number 3, you can see that there is a little move fixed. So just to double check, that is the correct one, so I would put that in. Okay, but with the boss, you do a create event, and then you do a move fixed. Okay, and then from there it tells you exactly what you need to do. So you just need to follow step by step through the rest of the tutorial to create this game. Okay, hope this helps.